Hello again. My name is Reni Sentana-Ries. Today is the 2nd April of 2019, and my topic today is an examination of democracy as opposed to what it should give the people, a true liberty. So democracy versus liberty. Some people think democracy is liberty for the people, but in my opinion, no, it is not. I wrote this article 20 years ago, October 13, 1999, and I'm going to read it out to you now. I think there is liberty in democracy is a fallacy. Democracy is stupidity. Democracy is weakness and fragmentation. It is also a tyranny all of its own kind, for it expects rigid party loyalty from its elected members, and punishment comes down on those who dare to listen to the voice of the people. Its propaganda creates a world of brainwashed artificial enthusiasts thinking democracy will solve all their problems once they have achieved it. But when democracy has arrived as they demand it, they find a world of contention with too many wanting to be chiefs and not enough Indians. The affairs of a democratic country are run by confrontation instead of cooperation. The system is incapable of working harmoniously, and its party system guarantees merely short-term dictatorships whose leaders are voted out of office when the people are fed up, only to see them replaced by a short-term dictatorship of a different kind. Democratic leaders never know what is really going on in their countries, because the bureaucracy under them never informs them of things they should know for the protection of the people. Their politicians are opportunists, out for milking the public trough for all it can offer, and then surround themselves with immunity from prosecution for the damage they have done to the nation. That fact alone opens the doorway for powerful elitists to assume control, as the latter never have to stand before the people to become elected. Very convenient, would you not say? And so the hidden real rulers of this world call these politicians useful idiots. The system itself is tailored to be run by only one profession, and that is the profession of lawyers. A democracy is rife with fraud, back-scratching, pork-barreling, and does not allow for true leadership of a positive kind. A democracy has no intrinsic power to do good, and in that is only capable of scattering the life of a nation. Democracy makes no allowance for righteous leadership, and for that reason alone it must be rejected as an option to the running of a country. Only governmental stability can achieve liberty for the people, for only a stable government is capable of controlling the smooth flow of affairs at all times. The moment a government is subject to be overthrown by the people through an election, that government will always feel insecure and allow unaccountable bureaucrats the real power, for their offices are never up for election. A righteous ruler is always loved by the people, be he a king, a Caesar, sultan, prime minister, or president, but his office must be guaranteed stability until he volunteers to hand his reign over to another worthy leader of his choice. A righteous leader never will allow others to make him the target of mockery, as is customary in Western democracies throughout the newspapers' cartoons. that dishonors him, and undermines his credibility with the people. A true leader's strength is the love of his people. True freedom can only come to the people under the firm hand of righteous rule. Well, that was the end of my article at the time, some 20 years ago. And let me follow it up with a few comments of my own. So much for an analysis of what democracy is like. But Uthrania and I are not here to reform the system of democracy from one which is defunct into one which works. We would be wasting our time because the hidden hand in the background would at its first opportunity overturn any progress we would have made or could have made. In 2006, I developed a new form of, quote, government, so-called, in which the powers are divided between securing the safety and liberty of the people on one hand, and on the other see appointed and qualified people look after all other affairs unrelated to the security of the people. For all of you interested in a glimpse of what such a form of governing of nations would look like, please go into my website, freeearthsystem.net. For each nation, there will be a security panel of 12 men and 12 women. Be selected to oversee the security of the people and appoint the administrators, and the latter will then, as specialists in their field, guide all other affairs of running the nation. We're not there yet. Such changes will only become implemented when the time comes and we are empowered to implement them. And in that area, we will begin with the United States. And why with the United States? Because the United States government in Washington has been totally taken over by a special interest, which is corporate interests, where the elected politicians are exclusively bribed to make laws on behalf of corporate interest only, and the people have no way, no avenue given to them to implement what is for the people's best or in the people's best interest. That is a sorry state of affair, and the power of the United States, particularly military power of the United States, which extends all over the globe right now as a big, huge empire, will make it necessary for the U.S. patriots to reform their system of government to one which will no longer be seen as a power which assails other nations that want to run their own affairs. Thank you very much for listening and viewing this video. I appreciate your presence here and your interest in the subject matter. There are many more issues that I have brought up in the past, maybe not all 20 years ago, but that are of interest to us all in making this world a better place to live in. Thank you very much, and have a good day, a good evening, and a good night. Bye-bye.